Hey guys, I'm gonna be doing my rear trailing arm bushings today. These things are messed up, they're done. If you can see here, the gap of the tire to the mud flap is, okay, it stops with my knuckles. And if you go over to the other side, the gap is much bigger. It's much bigger. Because this bushing is not as bad as the other one. Another trick is to measure from the bottom of the lip straight up onto the body. So there you can see that measurement. It's almost 57.5 centimeters. And if you go over to the other side, this is way worse. Bottom of the lip, 56 centimeters roughly. So today I'm going to be changing it. Now first thing I'll have to do is to jack up the rear of the car. So I'm first going to do the one side and then I'll switch over to going to the other side. The two sides are pretty similar, so I'm gonna show stuff from the one side and then I'm gonna show stuff from the other side. I use these that come from factory with BMW on the E36. Yeah, I use these. It's just quick, and I don't have a floor jack, so yeah, that's why. And I also use this, I don't know, cement block. Yeah, you just take your screwdriver, pop it out, pop it in, and then start jacking. Then you take your agar-dagar and you get your tool for your specialty lock nut. Get it out, put it aside. Remember to put your jack stands. So for reference how bad it is, here you can actually see it's that's pretty worn out, if you ask me. So first thing you'll have to do is take a pick and mark where the bolts should go so that you don't misalign the cage. And this side. And then here's another one. So there are 3 bolts in total. The cage will drop, and then there you can see is the other bolts there and on the other side. Then you first want to loosen these brake line bolts. Just these small bolts. So that they don't get tangled up. And you get yourself an 18 socket and just zip these loose. Now you can actually see, totally worn out. And after about an hour, I'm done with this side. Much more tighter. And now, just going to bolt it up and then switch over to the other side. Okay, I'm done with this side now. Onto this side. And I thought this one isn't that bad. but it's still pretty worn out. But it's not as bad as the other one. It wasn't making that much noise, but yeah, still have to do the one side, so you have to do the other side. And here's this side. Oh, it is pretty bad. But this side wasn't making all the noise, so. Oh yeah, it wasn't as bad as the first one. The other one had no rubber left on this. And then here you can see as well, just completely tore up. Yeah, so I just used one of these sawzalls. This is the Inco. With this blade for the rubber piece, and then I'll use that for the metal housing. And then it's through there, and then I'll probably do it at another point as well. And I'll switch to the other blade. Boom. Yeah. So then it should look like that. You can also do it with a handsaw. This is just way easier. So then I just tap it out. And here it is. And then there's the inside. And you just clean this out with a wire brush, a bit of sanding paper. And then when that is done and clean, I have silicone paste. It's quite old, but it still works. Or you could use copper slip or just any type of anti-seize type of material. And you spread it in here, and then the bushing, you put it on the edges of the bushing as well, and on the little shaft. And there's your bushing. Just, oh, you see it's nice and cold. Yeah. And you take your paste. And then you push it in. This side goes in way easier. You see there, it's in. And then for the other side, you get two blocks of wood and a nice G-clamp. Put this one here. Line it up quite alright. So it's not too, oh, okay. It's in. This one was way easier than the other side. I had to use the G-clamp to clamp it up together. Take your insert, press it in here. You take your G-clamp. This you need the G-clamp for. And there it's in. Now I just tap it until it's quite even. And there it's even. And there you have inserted the bushing. You put over the cradle. Line it up. Take your bolt. Push it through to the other side. Take your nut. Mine is just stuck in there. You put it up there, you tighten it. Come in with your agadaga. Tight. And you torque it to 107 Newton meters. Now isn't this way better? Nice and tight. You see? No play, no nothing. And now you have to jack this part up to get this seated in there, and then you bolt it up. Line it up nice, there where the previous bolts were, and then you tighten it and torque that to 107 Newton meters as well. You take a screwdriver, wedge it in one of the bolt holes. If you can at least insert one, then all of them will be roughly lined up. Tighten all of them up. Now these are not on the correct positions. They are off center. Oh well, where they were was in line. So now you take these. Now you take these and you slightly loosen the bolts just to where they not tight, but they still hold everything up. Then you take something to pry with. I just use the jack bar and press against the tank just to move it over. And there the bolts are lined up. So now, once you turn on these, they will want to move. So that's why I'm using the impact driver. You take your torque wrench and torque it to 107 Newton meters. And there it's done. It's in. Now let's lower the suspension. Boom. Take that out. Now you put back these bolts for the brake lines. Put a bit of anti-seize on the surface. Take your wheel. Put it on here. Put in your first bolt. You don't tighten this lock nut bolt all the way or as tight as these ones, because when you're stranded next to the road, you don't want to be struggling with a lock nut lug bolt. Now that you're done, clean up after yourself and go enjoy the ride.